Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Have you ever picked up your phone because you needed a break, only to put it down 20 minutes later, even an hour later, feeling even more tired than before you picked it up? This has definitely happened to me. So ask yourself, what is your automatic comfort move when you're feeling stressed, bored, tired, or overwhelmed? What is that thing that you naturally reach for comfort, for reassurance, for a break, for distraction? A lot of us definitely spend that time doom scrolling, and it's normal to need that time to rest. Maybe it's grabbing your favorite snack or a cozy beverage. Maybe it's shopping or watching videos or just curling back up in your bed and getting to rest for another hour as you press snooze over and over and over. Our brains are trying to make us feel better, and we are today simply checking to see whether the strategy is actually working for us. Wednesday on our last morning reset, we talked about honoring your energy. And we asked, are the things that we're doing in our daily routine energizing me, settling me, giving me peace, actually moving my life forward? Does this reward teach my brain something that I truly want to repeat? Sometimes stimulation can feel energy giving, but stimulation and restoration are not always the same thing. Not everything that gives you a quick spark is actually giving you energy back that is going to be lasting and fruitful. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about this and what we can reach for quick dopamine that actually does reward our brain in a meaningful, lasting way to motivate us and energize us. I'm going to start with taking a little bit of a sip of my morning beverage, my coffee. It has like a delicious creamer. It has a fun thing that says happiness is having a dog. So this gives me a little bit of energy in the morning. Maybe it's my theme song that I play at the beginning and end that gives you a little bit of energy in the morning. I used to be the kind that definitely would snooze over and over and over, and maybe I slept in for an extra hour or two, but did I actually wake up feeling more rested, feeling like I had more energy? Or did I wake up feeling just as groggy as when I went to sleep? It's a great question. It's really worth asking yourself, honestly. So that's what we're going to dig into a little bit more today. I also want to just introduce myself. So if you're new here, welcome back or welcome. This is the Morning Reset series with Vitality Social Network. My name is Melon. We have been talking about how we can have more productive daily routines and habits and behaviors that help us become the person that we want to be, this person that is growing 1% better every single day. So after a year, we'll be 37 times better than when we started, and we'll be able to naturally achieve all of the goals and dreams that we have in life because we're embodying the person who reaches for the stars and achieves those dreams easily. So we've been building in little habits, little new behaviors to our daily routine and talking about these concepts because, I've been studying them for a couple years, but I haven't always done a great job at embodying them and putting them into my routine. So that is what we're going to make sure that we do together and support each other as a community. So if you're here, thank you for being here today. I want to give you just a little bit of motivation. Oh, you love the topic of dopamine? Yes. So if you don't know what dopamine is, that's kind of the chemical or the hormone in your brain that does give you happiness and motivation and momentum. So we're going to talk about how we can bring that into our lives naturally. So here's another example of something that we've been doing, which is pulling our morning fortune cookie. These are literally fortunes from fortune cookies that I've eaten. Oh, one flew out. That would have been a good one to read, but it's gone now. So this one says, arriving at one goal is the starting point to another. Oh my gosh, I love that because previously we talked about habit stacking, and it kind of ties back to what we're going to talk about today, how we can pair the dopamine giving behavior with maybe another behavior that is a little bit more challenging to do. So if you think about things like, I find it really tough to clean and to do my dishes. Well, can you do your dishes for 10 minutes and then after that 10 minutes, reward yourself with a snack or a comfy beverage? How can you pair those behaviors together to make it a more exciting thing? So when you're done with that thing that's a little bit tough, you get a reward. You get an outcome that you're excited about. You get to celebrate. So we have a few examples today. Now, just to dig into what is dopamine a little bit more, I do want to keep it simple. We don't have to be scientists or psychiatrists in order to understand this, but basically it's that chemical that helps your brain notice, pursue, and learn from rewards. And the brain becomes really efficient at repeating whatever reliably brings a quick relief or anticipation. Where you get that excitement from something that's happening next. So maybe you're like me, you have ADHD, and when you have a free day with nothing to do, it's much easier just to lay in bed and curl up and watch TV for several hours. But if you fill your calendar with things to do, if you schedule that live stream for 8:30 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or every Thursday or whatever it is, then you feel a little bit more excitement, a little bit more anticipation or pressure to actually show up to make it happen. Maybe it's more like giving yourself 10-minute timers to do your cleaning. So then when the timer goes off, you get to play your favorite song or go outside and take a breath and get some sun. Those little things that can keep the momentum going over time. And this is an example of why your phone, doom scrolling like we do, can feel irresistible before we even get to enjoy what's actually on it. The brain has learned the cue and reward behavior pattern that we talked about the other day. The cue is the notification. The reward is that stimulation of learning something new or hearing from your friend or seeing that stressful thing that's going on in the news. And so you actually are creating a pattern in your brain to keep checking your phone over and over and over, to keep swiping over and over and over because you want that quick hit of dopamine. And so our goal today is not necessarily to remove the pleasure factor. It's to build pleasure around behaviors that also return energy to us, give us energy, give us meaning, give us connection or momentum. How can we choose those quick behaviors that are actually going to be positive for us over time? So if you're here today, thank you for being here. Comment in the chat so I know that you're here. Hi, Ruby. Thank you for always joining and supporting. I really appreciate that. Maybe you can just type win if you showed up for yourself this morning. And as you can see, I've already done some little things to add excitement to my day. I wore my crown just because, I don't know, it felt like a more fun way to do my hair this morning. Gave me a little bit of excitement when I woke up. We had our drink. What are you doing? Maybe it's sound therapy. I listened to the new Ariana Grande album this morning to get me motivated. What do you do when you wake up in the morning to get yourself motivated? Would love to know. Let me know in the comments. And ask yourself then, is it a quick relief loop or is it a momentum giving loop? So we have these two options today. On the left side, you see you're naturally feeling discomfort. Oh, you're sleepy and you're groggy and you don't quite want to give up. So you choose the automatic distraction. Let me snooze. Let me go back to sleep for 10 minutes. Let me scroll on my phone. And so you get that temporary relief. It feels good for just a minute. But then you realize once you actually get up for the day, you actually have more fatigue, or you have guilt for not doing the right thing and for avoiding the behavior that you knew would be productive. And then you end up feeling more discomfort. So you keep scrolling or you keep snoozing because it wasn't actually helpful and energy giving to you to make that decision. And we want to learn how we can make different decisions. So on the right side, you see the momentum loop. That's where you feel that little bit of discomfort. Oh, I'm tired, sleepy, don't quite want to get up in the morning. So I do a small, meaningful action, which is I play the Ariana Grande album. I'm really excited to hear it. I know it's several songs in a row that I've never heard before, so it's going to keep me awake. It's going to keep me moving. Maybe then once I actually get up and get going, I reward myself by eating a healthy breakfast or having a healthy tea. And then overall, I feel good about myself. I feel like, wow, look at me. I actually got up an hour earlier than I normally do. And now I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling energetic. And I have even more momentum, more excitement to continue making the right choice throughout my day. So this is an example of how you can switch from the quick relief to that momentum giving behavior. It is worth asking yourself, what is the hollow reward, the time that you reached for relief but ended up foggier, more drained, running behind, disconnected, versus the reward that gave you energy back? So we're thinking music, we're thinking maybe it's doing your makeup more fun, maybe choosing clothes that get you excited. Maybe it's getting on the live stream and having community around you and that connection. What is one task that you can complete that will completely change your energy for the morning or for the day? And if you're thinking about it even deeper, consider, what is the moment before the behavior, before you actually make that choice? Are you trying to escape something? Are you trying to soften or replace something? Let's be compassionate with ourselves here. We are not just lazy and unmotivated. We know that we have goals. We know that we're driven, but sometimes our brain has simply learned to expect an immediate reward before the meaningful thing has had enough time and practice to become rewarding, to train it that that's the right decision to make. So let's consider just a few different realistic choices for having different energy levels. So first is our instant reset. These are the quick things to reach for. So maybe it's sunlight. Maybe it's cold water on your face. Stretching. One quick song. Stepping outside. Those are things that you can do immediately, right away. You also have your momentum building rewards. So, this is where you can stack your habits. I open my laptop and start my stream, and then I have my coffee. Maybe it's I have to do 10 minutes of cleaning, so I'm going to play my playlist while I clean. Maybe it's sharing your progress with the group Discord so we can all celebrate you, or taking that 5-minute break. Something that you're allowing yourself to reward that starting behavior, so you have to pick what is the behavior, maybe the thing that I want to build into my daily habit but I'm not already doing, and how can I pair that instant reset behavior or another behavior to really build momentum. And then you have those choices that are deeply nourishing, the ones that truly fulfill you. These are things like getting out into nature and going for a hike, or exercising for an hour. Even when you're tired in the morning, if you get up and you go to the gym and you work out for 30 minutes and go for a quick jog or something on the elliptical, or do a full yoga session, afterwards, you're actually giving your body more energy, more motivation. And at night, you're actually going to sleep deeper, sleep better. Those are the things that truly refill you and nourish you. Could be other things like meditating, having a deep conversation with a friend or family member, creating something, making music. So this is the thing that is a natural reward your brain genuinely loves, but does not leave you depleted after. And in fact, it can do the opposite. So the strategy here is similar to what we've talked about before with habit stacking. So it's simply rewarding the repetition. So you think, maybe it's after I drink water, I'm going to open the curtains and let sunlight in and play my favorite song and dance around. Maybe it's after I make that difficult phone call to the debt collector or whatever it is. How can I reward myself? How can I take a deep breath? Maybe that's when you get to scroll a little bit just so you can have the relief, right? But you can pair those behaviors together, because instead of scrolling first, you switch them, where first you do the hard thing and then you get the relief of scrolling, right? So you want to consider how you can pair the behaviors together. After I do this, I will immediately reward myself with what? I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. What will you try to do? What is something that you are going to build into your daily routine? What is one way that you can naturally reward yourself? Let me know. Whether you're here in the live or you're on the replay, I would absolutely love to hear from you. And if you're new here and you didn't know, and you've made it this far, or you've been joining our series up to now, I would love to invite you to our group Discord. This is exclusive for people that are true followers, following along, watching my content. And the link is in the description. This is a group of people that are either trying to become live streamers so they can share what they're passionate about and build a community around common interests. Or we also have a morning thread for people that are trying to start their day with more intention, more positivity, the way that we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday for our morning reset, so that we can all support and celebrate each other's wins. So I would love to see you there. You're also welcome to join and DM me directly. So if you're a little shy and you don't want to comment, after I blank, I'll reward myself with blank right here in the chat, then you can DM me directly and I would love to support you, or I would love to help you figure out how this concept can apply to your life. And similarly, if you have any questions for me, I would love to help you. What are you struggling with? What is the behavior or the routine that you keep trying to build and keep falling short? We've been doing this series consistently and we're going to keep it going one key concept at a time. We don't have to become masters of this in one day. We're just trying to get a little bit better every single day. So consider, what is your takeaway today? What is one thing that you're going to do differently today? Maybe switching the behavior where you do the hard thing first and the energy giving thing next. What is one way you're going to give yourself that positive energy and dopamine instead of the quick instant relief that ultimately is not fulfilling and lasting? I think about people who also have maybe they do lottery scratch-off tickets, right? And so you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be so exciting whenever I scratch it off and I get a reward, and you have that hope and you have that excitement, and then you scratch it off, you win nothing. And so you have that guilt, you have that worry, that shame, and instead of the fear taking over, the fear motivates you to try again because you don't want to lose that money, So you're going to buy another scratch-off ticket, you're going to try again, and then you get stuck in that loop. Instead of putting that money in your savings and thinking, great, now I can have a lasting reward. So instead of that quick dopamine hit, how big is that payoff going to be when I put that $5 in the bank every day and after a month I have $150, Then you can truly reward yourself. You can truly have that deep, fulfilling excitement. So just consider, your brain is not always learning what to crave, and we don't have to, your brain is always learning what to crave, and so we don't have to live without pleasure. We can create pleasure that restores us, strengthens us, helps us to live and want the life we're building. So remember, like we talked about before, where our attention goes, energy flows, and our life follows. Similarly, where the reward goes with the behavior will grow. And where the behaviors lead, our lives will follow. So we do have to have those positive momentum building behaviors in our life. It is okay to slip and fall, but how can we add them a little bit to our day, one step at a time? And remember, when we talked about before, if we're trying to build something new, it helps to never miss twice. So then you get back on the horse. You don't shame yourself for one day, but the next day you try again. You keep reminding your brain that you want this, it's worth it, and you are going to successfully build that habit. So I'm so proud of you all if you've been showing up even for this conversation today, for our morning reset series this week, or maybe you check out one of our other hosts. We have a series about using AI to help us get a job. It's a tough job market. We have a really fun musical mentor host that gets on and chats about how you can write lyrics or songs or things like that. And we have a new one coming this afternoon as well that is all about film and storytelling, story writing, and really giving her hot takes on the remakes of the stories that we loved the most. So I hope that you'll join us for some of these series. Thank you so much for being here today. Again, my name is Melon. I'm going to go ahead and leave you today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, but I don't want to close without sharing our theme song, just another little way to give yourself energy and momentum. It definitely gives me that. I heard that the other day. My sweet little niece was feeling upset, and she said, I need to hear Tia Melanie's song. And I cannot tell you how that gave me life and gave me energy and made me want to keep going. So if you're my family watching, I love you so much. Thank you for supporting and being here today. All my friends, my family, you mean the absolute world to me. And if you love my content, I would absolutely appreciate you hitting the like button or sharing it with someone that would benefit from it. Watching to the end, engaging, taking an action, all of that means the world to me. It absolutely helps the algorithm. It shows it that you like my content. It shows me that you want me to keep making it and showing up for you or even for myself. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to close out with our theme song, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Take one deep breath, let good energy in. Feel that spark under your skin. Refresh your mind, rebuild your momentum, reclaim your life. One small win today, then another, then three. Tiny steps make thunder, progress comes free. You're still alive, so take back your life. Take one deep breath.
Literally.
You're still alive, so take back your life. Take one deep breath.
Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing day.